Alright, so you know what? This is so long overdue. I'm just going to get straight into it. This is my review slash rant of The Butchering of Boba Fett. So we start off with episodes 1 and 2, Dances with Tuscans. For some reason, Favreau and Filoni have decided that Boba should keep taking his helmet off, even in the most stupid of situations when he would never take his helmet off completely ruining what his character used to be in the old canon because they've decided to replace him with Mando, an even blander version of him. Uh, well, I should be fair. Here they do start off episode 1 with him crawling out of the Sarlacc, which I will admit is a decent scene. Uh, he gets it's well, he collapses from exhaustion from crawling out and is then in in what's the word I should use here? His armor is rated by Jawas, which it is fair enough. He's weak. He can't fight them off. Fair enough. Meanwhile, back in present day, because we have this weird back and forth thing going on, and we see Boba trying to be a crime boss, but they keep portraying him as an idiot who doesn't seem to know anything about being a crime boss, and this will be quite poignant of a character trait later on. Somehow Fennec knows more about being a crime boss than Boba does, even though it seemed like Boba hung out pretty regularly with Jabba the Hutt, who he took over. In many of these instances and encounters, he just simply isn't acting like Boba. He's just letting people essentially kind of walk over him when, and Tamora Morrison himself says that he needs less lines. He needs to be more mysterious, and I fully agree.
Temuera, part of what made Boba Fett so cool and mysterious in the originals was how rarely he spoke. How did you go about keeping that edginess while adding all the dialogue in for the new series?
Yes, I wasn't very successful. I was hoping not to say as much as I have already in the first two episodes. I speak far too much. In fact, in the beginning, I was trying to get past my lines on to Ming Na. And
Yes,
I'd
he
always say,
did.
excuse me, director. I really feel that Ming Na should say these lines because I want to stay mysterious. I
Right.
want to stay quiet.
But then
I
I
want to
caught
be.
on. He wasn't just trying to be a very generous actor, which he is. He was just trying to parlay some of the work to me.
He was
Yes.
jerking his responsibility.
So yeah, but and even when, because well, obviously John's the one of the key writers. So
Yeah.
and so sometimes I'd always say, I think this is too much. I think this is too much. Then I'd go to what was the other guy's name? Noah. Noah. I'd try and get. I'd
Oh,
always try to cut
Noah.
down on that
Yes, Noah
dialogue.
Nor.
I remember, of course, John actually went away to Atlanta. So I rang Noah that night and I said, Noah, the scene tomorrow, I'm talking too much. This Boba doesn't talk this much. Look, I've got all these paragraphs here. I think we should get rid of it. And John's gone to Atlanta, so don't tell him. And then next minute, next minute that morning on set, I get a call from Atlanta. John wants you to say all that dialogue, and he'll cut it out later.
But more than that, he needs to be more cutthroat. Oh, this scene where this wimp of a Twilight that comes in for the mayor asking for tribute, he just acts confused, like he doesn't act menacing at all, like the real Boba would. Dare I say it? I think original Boba would have just shot this guy, which is a sentiment that you will become very familiar with later on because you will wish he shot this guy.
The matter of tribute.
I'm confused.
He wants you to pay him.
What? I'm the crime lord he's supposed That's a no. Or we will open fire.
Do what he says, bounty hunter.
Release him now. As you wish.
No, wait!
Blast him.
Yeah, that's right. We get more of this annoying guy, and oh boy. Meanwhile, back in Flashback Land, and Jon Favreau continues to live out his strange Tusken Raider fetish because we haven't gotten enough of the Sand People. The Tusken Raiders take Boba to be a slave. Let's see. He tries to escape, and let's see. While he's captured, he lets himself be bullied by a small child. Totally what the most feared and notorious bounty hunter in the galaxy would do. He does try to escape later on, sparing the strange desert dog for some reason. And Tuskens confront him, send out their, I guess, elite warrior, or Tusken, and he beats up Boba, even though Boba should absolutely know how to fight. His father taught him. He is a Mandalorian and by training. So this is such a disgrace. Let's see what else. Oh yes. While out and about, someone tries to assassinate Boba. A group of people, and they're possibly the worst assassins in history. Yeah, remember episode 2 when Zam Wessel and Django tried to assassinate Padme Amidala first with bugs and with guns and explosives? These guys use pointy electric sticks and shields. Also, Boba is also a horrible fighter in this, because in the background you can see him fall down, get knocked down, I want to say like 3-4 times. They kind of try to justify this with he's still healing from the Sarlacc, even though in Mando Season 2 he didn't seem bothered by it at all. And what else can we pick apart with this? Yes, that hasn't been picked apart. We will find out these guys are legendary assassins, but I can only imagine they're legendary for how legendarily horrible they are at their job. What was the main thing I was thinking of? Let's see, they were poking them with sticks, they got knocked over and distracted by a couple pigs. No one is apparently allowed to use guns in this universe, I guess. Yes, even though it's Star Wars. And they capture one of the guys. After defeating them, whoop-de-doo. Episode 2 brings up crime knowledge that should have been established in episode 1. And this all has me thinking, like, if you had done this in more of like a Breaking Bad style, this show would have been immensely better. Yes, the interrogation of the assassin, who is not threatened by death by having his throat cut, but the idea of facing an imaginary rancor terrifies him into spilling all of his secrets for some reason. Yes, trained assassin. And sharp knife? No, fake rancor? or horrifying. He still acts like the Rancor goes down there, didn't? Would it? Well, wouldn't it be known the Rancor is dead by this point? It's been, what, 5 years? I don't know. I don't actually know where this takes place in the timeline. Let's see. The assassin reveals the mater is the one who sent them. They go and confront him. Guy's still shady as can be. There might be a third faction trying to kill Fett. Oh yeah, random huts show up, saying, "We're here to claim our cousin's territory." Interesting choice of timing. You had 5 years to claim this territory, but you only choose now for some reason. Why? Don't answer that. We never find out the reason.
Like a panther.
I'm not saying you can't have comedy in a Boba Fett show, but this is not the kind of comedy you should have. It should most certainly not be coming from Boba.
Like a panther.
That brought me so much pain. Well, while we're back with the Tuskens, who have now accepted Boba Fett because as he killed a monster and a beast instead of overwhelming the small child, killing the dog, sneaking back and stealing a bantha out of there like the real Boba Fett would have done. He kills the monster, I guess, earns their respect, and becomes part of the tribe. And then a space train shows up for some reason. And instead of moving around like the nomadic people that the Tusken Raiders are, they apparently, I guess, just stay by where this train goes by. Hey, day after day, getting murdered and whittled down more and more. Boba goes to get weapons from an evil little biker gang thing, and he just beats them up, doesn't actually kill them because, for a bit, our anti-hero kill people. Oh no, that's right, this episode. Episode 3, Mighty Morphin Mopeds. Well, let's see, he got some guy telling Boba that he's being robbed of water, and Boba dismisses him in a desert. Yes, we know you were surrounded by water, but you are not surrounded by water here. Also, I'm pretty sure that would have been salt water anyway. I'm pretty sure even today, stealing water in a desert is a pretty significant offense. So Boba goes to confront the thieves and instead hires them because, this bunch of weirdos is exactly who you want on your payroll. As I guess, despite being a crime boss, Boba has no underlings other than in the 2 Gamorrean guards. Which makes me question how you're keeping control of all this, but okay. Not sure why no one isn't just overthrowing you. IFC then tells the water salesman to lower his outrageous prices, despite the fact that we never established what the going rate of water is in this universe. What was it they said?
What do they owe you?
1,300 credits.
For water?
1,300 credits.
Give them 500.
Why, they owe 1,300.
I heard you the first time. Take the 500 and consider it resolved. And cut your prices.
That sounds too high. Even the price he'd lower the 2 of 500 sounds high. Like, how much water are you buying for that? Like, I've always assumed that credits were a 1-to-1 to American currency, but they're like 500 for water? Even in a desert, that sounds pricey. World building. Establish it. Figure it out. Hey, we go back to Flashback Land where we find out that Tuskens have been killed by the biker gang, and Boba is sad for some reason. I believe EFAP had the best reaction to this.
Yes, 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 yes! Oh, fuck yes!
I hope they suffer.
I'm so fucking happy. Thank God. No more people are gonna get tortured,
Are they
beaten,
gonna
enslaved. Shows like this is terrible. I'm like, no, this is good.
I guess we're brought back to the now the Wookiee bounty hunter who is doing a terrible job assassinating Boba. But do not worry, Boba does a terrible job of defending himself as well. This is only Star Wars, known for her laser swords and laser guns, but forbid it we use one of those in this. Forget shooting him in his little back to pod, forget stabbing him in his back to pod, forget just taking him and crushing his skull, or clawing him to death, literally any of the number of things a Wookiee could do to kill someone. We'll just throw him around his room. Let's see, then the teenage mopeders. Here's because I refuse to call those things bikes. They suck at defeating Wookiees. Yes, because, only none of them have guns. Well, actually, one guy has a gun, but apparently the bullets are attracted only to armor. But eventually they do capture him next morning. And the Hutts show up again to tell us that they're leaving and will never be seen again in this show, which makes me question why they were here in the first place. Oh yeah, and because this is Robert Rodriguez, Danny Trejo shows up with a Rancor. Because I guess we needed a Rancor. Universe of Star Wars, we couldn't have had something else other than a Rancor. Okay. Hey, also, oh yes, forget being just being a mindless beast or just a basic animal. Well, Rancors are now emotionally complex creatures. Yeah, that's what we cared about in this show. That's what we want. We didn't want Boba hunting people down and shooting people, committing crime, being a crime lord. We wanted emotionally complex Rancors. Also, I guess Boba loves animals now, even though in his introductory cartoon he seems to be completely dismissive of them.
They are here, friend, and growing more powerful.
How far away?
Settle down. All they do is eat.
This is all we have, but he's welcome to it.
You are foolish to waste your kindness on this dumb creature. No lower life form is worth going hungry for, friend.
Yeah, great continuity, guys. I guess it is technically the holiday special, so well, actually, no. With the stuff to do later on, I'm not giving them the benefit of the doubt on that one. But horrible fumble. Oh, I take my complaint. I don't know what I was going to say there. Let's see. We then find out that the Pikes are coming to claim Boba's territory. Boba gets outsmarted by the mayor's annoying aide, then is once again made to look like a complete bumbling fool. Well, but they do manage to kidnap him after a horrible moped race. They're so out of place. Who decided this? Why are the cyberpunk rejects in this show? Episode 4, Incoherent Editing and Thoughts. Let's see, they're going to get back the Slave 1. Yes, it is called the Slave 1. Fire spray is the type of gunship it is. I don't know why someone thought putting bright red lights on a scout probe was a smart idea, but apparently it is. We have a goofy bunny chase in the kitchen. Yeah, I feel like that speaks for itself.
I am Boba Fett. Quick little bugger.
Can we go now?
I guess Boba was double-crossed by Bib Fortuna at some point. Although with some research that turns out to be a thing in some comic that I haven't read, but I only knew that after watching this. So yeah, when I watched it in context of the show, it was completely confusing. And even in context of and even then, I'm not sure the comic itself makes sense. So you took this one achievement Boba had that we see him accomplish in the shows, and you stole it from him. Great job, Disney. Great job. Oh, now they have a ship back. Heck, they're free. Fett says Fennec is free because they're even though in season 2, Fennec's implication was that she was indebted to him for life. So, yay, more. Glad to see you guys are keeping up such great continuity. Clearly putting her all into this. But yeah, so she's technically free, but she stays with Fett. I don't know why, but they then go and kill all the bikers. Yay! I don't care. then they go to the Sarlacc to search for Boba's armor, because even though he crawled out of it, the Sarlacc wearing his armor, Boba thinks it's still in there. Because stupidity. And don't worry, more stupidity ensues. Also, on a more minor note, what happened to all the other weapons Slave One had? They always use these turrets. Slave One had a plethora of other weapons. It had missiles. So we do see the missiles, but I don't know why he used them. It also had cannons further up on the ship, which we can clearly see in episode 2. So why are you using the lower guns to shoot at the Sarlacc? Back when they clearly are not going to reach. But yeah, they deploy a seismic charge, which could have very much killed them. I don't know who thought this was a smart idea. This scene is stupid. Please, just bring it. Just make it stop. Please, make it stop. And then we move on to The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 0. Why is he not Boba Fett? So we start off with Mando doing a bounty hunt mission and taking heads, literally. Hey, kind of like the stuff we wanted to see Boba Fett doing. So why isn't he the one doing this? He goes meets up with Yarmer, her, and the last of Vizsla guy, because I guess they're the only two that survived this far, which, with the way the writing's going, makes bad sense. And rattle on some legend about the Darksaber and how it feels heavy to Jin, though all this stuff with the Darksaber, this seems to be like the first time we're kind of hearing of this. I mean, they kind of have it a little bit in Rebels, but not like this. We get more exposition about the Mandalorians, which only serves to create more questions about the lore they're establishing, how it all works, and what in the world are they setting up and trying to do here. But yeah, we're not getting those answers till probably much, much later. And even then, we'll probably just end up getting more questions. Yeah, it'll probably be nonsensical. Well, Bo-Katan, I guess, is not the rightful leader of the Mandalorians. Wait a minute. So if you happen to win the Darksaber in battle, Maul beat Vizsla for it, but then, and technically Obi-Wan beat Maul. The Darksaber would the Darksaber should technically go to him. But then Vader beat Obi-Wan, so the Darksaber goes to him. But then Luke beat Vader, so Luke is the rightful leader of the Mandalorians? Yeah, good luck explaining that one away, guys. Oh yeah, also this.
Mandalorian steel is meant for armor, not weapons.
What do you mean not for that? You're telling me in the entire history of Mandalorians you haven't used Beskar for weapons? Also, what do you call whistling birds? How do you keep having more of this stuff? I thought you said they were rare. But yes, he melts the spear down, makes a chainmail shirt for Grogu, because that'll totally work for him when he grows up. Vizsla challenges for the right for the Darksaber and to rule Mandalorians and loses. Can we please clear up this helmet nonsense? And so are you allowed to take them off or not? When was there ever a rule to not take them off? Also, Jin is exiled from the Mandalorians now. I guess. Although I guess they're now sending him on some kind of quest mission thing. I don't know. Also, I guess Phase TSA does a terrible job checking for weapons. And it's because they completely forgot to have him remove his gauntlets, which have multiple weapons, including a flamethrower attached to them. Yeah, good luck. Let's see, we're over halfway into the episode, still no Boba Fett in this episode of the Boba Fett show. Oh, and then we spent another 20 minutes with the ever-growing more annoying junk lady building a new starfighter, because that's totally what a bounty hunter wants. It's a single cockpit ship that has no space to store your bounties in. Wonderful job, guys. Let's see, we got to the end of the episode, still not a single sign of Boba Fett. Yeah, I hate this episode. Not because isn't stuff that... Not because there is no stuff that's good. There are some things that are good in this. It's just you're focusing on the wrong character to be doing this all with. But anyway, on to episode 6. The Butchered, the Odd, and the Unkillable. If you were looking for Boba Fett, we only get one scene of him. Yeah, that's right. Right, this means we'll get two episodes of this 7-part show. Basically a third of the season, and no Boba Fett. So anyway, they're discussing their attack plan now that they have Jin in, because they were looking for some muscle, and I guess one guy is all they needed. And we have a bunch of cyberpunk rejects, two bounty hunters, and an assassin are all the muscle needed to challenge the Pikes. Except for foot soldiers, we still need foot soldiers. Maybe we should have tried to find someone we were hiring muscle. Mando goes to see Baby Yoda, who's being trained by not Luke Skywalker. We spend over half of this episode with Baby Yoda and Robo Voice Skywalker doing Jedi-ish things. Luke puts a training ball in front of Baby Yoda and gives him very little and very poor instruction on how to use it. And we get an Order 66 flashback that creates more questions and a missed Anakin cameo. Ahsoka is kind of, sort of, but also not really helping Luke, I guess. Yes, but all the same passes on the Beskar chainmail Mando made Grogu. Yeah, Luke is an absolute jerk about making Baby Yoda choose between Mando and being a Jedi. What is this?
But you may choose only one. If you choose the armor, you'll return to your friend, the Mandalorian. However, you will be giving in to attachment to those that you love, and forsaking the way of the Jedi.
I was astonished when you had Luke teaching against attachments, when it was attachments that saved him and the galaxy. That's basic Star Wars! It's been basic Star Wars for 45 years!
Also, why is all of this in here and not in Mando Season 3? This feels like, I think this should be Mando Season 3. Hey, you really could have just had Mando show up. That's all you needed. Anyway, Mando tries to recruit Cobb Vanth and the good people of Mos Espa to fight a crime war. Yeah, figure out the morality logic of that one. Also Mos Espa is now Freetown, despite Vanth calling it Espa earlier in the episode. They say they'll think about it, and then a poor Cad Bane cosplayer walks in from the desert because Dave Filoni can't bring himself to kill off his characters. But we did get a good meme out of it, at least. Yes, Bane shoots Vanth, but I'm pretty sure he didn't kill him. Walks back into the miles of desert without a vehicle. And yes, that's it. Basically, nothing happens in the penultimate episode aside from very weird nostalgia bait hooked onto a weird CGI Luke. Here we go. Episode 7, The Rise of Sheriff Fett. So, they decide that their best course of action is to hide out in a destroyed casino. And to split up their forces, because they're a police force now? I don't actually... What exactly is Boba Fett doing as a crime boss? I have yet to see him commit any actual crime. Is it just the Mafia? Is this just the Mafia? I feel like we could have established better that this was just the Mafia. Let's see. R2... who I guess is given the task of taking Baby Yoda to Mos Eisley to find Mando, where they meet annoying engineer lady. Jin tells Boba E-Town won't join unless he agrees to stop the spice. Even though I don't remember those, even though I'm pretty sure those terms were never stated in the episode when they were talking to each other. So how that got passed along, I'm not sure. See, everyone starts getting ambushed by the other crime families. Wow, it's almost who could have predicted? Did this? Boba gets emotional when Bane tells him the Pikes killed the Tuscans. You know, because that's a word I use when describing Boba Fett. Let's see, Vic goes to help the mopeders and kill the other crime bosses. Boba calls the Mandalorian way bantha fodder. Just. Why would you have that? This is the Mandalorian code. Code was taught to him by his father, or he respected it. And later, or in the expanded universe, he's the one who whips the Mandalorians back into shape. Hey, so why would you have him calling the Mandalorian way bantha fodder? I hate this show. Oh, why? Hey, would you do this? So yeah, yes, Boba doesn't kill this. Just Boba doesn't kill this guy. At all. They don't even have the Pikes kill him. They just have wait. Why?
Come on, get behind me, pretty face.
Hey, Boba and Mando fly out instead of sticking to the cover of the casino, which would have been a valid tactic, but at this point I've been so beaten down, I'm at least happy to see them fighting sort of like Mandalorians for once, and using their guns. Also, oh yeah, they get reinforcements. And then strange new large not droidicas show up. Boba stupidly wastes his rocket on it, even though he should know that wouldn't work. Boba leaves to go get the Rancor instead of Slave 1, his gunship, for some reason. And even though that would be the better equalizer. But they also seem to travel remarkably fast considering how far away the palace seems to be from the main city. Questionable shield physics are questionable. Well, apparently Rancors are scared of fire now. Oh, despite Bane being significantly older, or Boba is slower than him, even though they were shown as equals in the unused deleted episode, Ode of Clone Wars. Bane stands over Boba, takes forever to just shoot him. So that gives Boba the chance to pull out his Tuscan staff and trip Bane up instead of just shooting him in the face with his wrist blaster like we've seen him shoot stormtroopers in episode 6 of Bando Season 2. The Rancor then goes on a King Kong-style rampage, only so Baby Yoda can use the Force to put him to sleep. Also, Mando should be crippled and old and dead from blunt Force trauma multiple times over. They give Boba's revenge scene against crime bosses to Fennec, but that's honestly that is on the lower list of complaints. And now Boba is now heralded and praised as the sheriff/mayor of Tatooine, even though he's supposed to be a crime boss. And then on top of it all, we end the Boba Fett's show with the Mandalorian theme instead of Boba Fett's theme. What was this show? What is wrong with you two? What? We've been duped. I think we've been duped. Either these two pulled a long con to trick us, Yeah, I hate this show. I'm not watching the Obi-Wan show. I don't trust these guys anymore. Either these two are traitors or they're idiots. Possibly both. Like, I can't. I just can't anymore. I've been burned too many times. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the Boba Fett show. You want actual Boba Fett? Go read some books. Just like I'm going to do. So long.